Hey, nerdy sports fan here. We're doing record predictions for every single team, and we're into the AFC West now. So, wrapping things up in the division with the Chargers, mostly because they're going to be the least fun to talk about. So, Chargers made some very interesting moves. All right, you pick up Chris Harris, you let Melvin Gordon go, you let Phillip Rivers go, you draft the quarterback of the future in Justin Herbert. Lot of very interesting things this offseason for the Chargers. You really have great defensive personnel. Great defensive personnel. The offense has question marks. You know, you've addressed some offensive line positions, but not necessarily sure that's going to be upgrades, especially with Bulaga. I mean, it kind of aged out with the Packers. So, is he really going to be solid? I doubt it. So, yeah, there's that. Tyrod can move, though. So, weak offensive line aside, you're going to have less issues with sacks and interceptions caused by pressure. Not to mention, Tyrod just does not throw interceptions because he doesn't take risks. So, the risk-reward factor of your offense is now gone. Those bomb plays, those real high-end risk-reward situations that Mike Williams and company and that receiving core have made their living on, not going to be there. All right? Tyrod is not an anticipatory thrower at all. If you're not wide open, you're not getting the damn ball. So the offense will be far less dynamic. It just won't give the ball away either. So you're going to have to rely on your defense to win things. I'm not sure necessarily that the coaching staff and the team in general is ready for that kind of play. So, let's dig into the schedule here. Week 1 at the Bengals. That's a win. All right, the Bengals drafted Joe Burrow, their quarterback of the future. They don't have a veteran to start in front of him while he figures things out. So, outside of that, they were the number 1 overall pick for a reason. They were an absolute trash team last season. And one offseason with a couple of good moves isn't going to change that too much. All right, DJ Reader and Joe Burrow are only going to be so beneficial for that team. So that's a win. Chiefs, getting them at home doesn't matter. That's a loss. All right, the Chiefs, you are absolutely not hanging with their stuff right now. But not with a Tyrod Taylor, no risk offense. Will not happen. All right. So, Panthers. That's a win. All right. The Panthers have far too many new additions. New head coach, new starting quarterback, new number 1 wide receiver. And their entire draft was defensive players, and at least half of those guys are going to be expected to be starters. Yeah. There's just so much new there. It's going to take at least the beginning half of the season to gain the continuity that you need to really be a consistent winner. And I don't think they have the talent to be a consistent winner, which means lack of continuity, lack of talent, no W's. All right, so at Tampa. Oh, that's a loss. Tom Brady is still the GOAT, okay? And he's got the best wide receiver core that he's had to deal with since Randy Moss was booted out of New England. They don't necessarily have the defense that he had in New England, but it doesn't really matter when you're putting 40 points on the board. So at least at the beginning part of the season, I expect their offense to be very, very difficult to deal with. All right, at the Saints. Oh man, you're losing that one. All right, the Saints are a team of freaking destiny this year, okay? They will be a deep playoff run team. They are hell-bent on winning the Super Bowl. They're not letting a team like the Chargers get in the way of that. So, Jets. You get them at home, toss-up game. I say toss-up because these teams are so damn close, talent and roster, where they're at in their builds. I understand the Jets are kind of crap, but can you get where I'm going here? It's not going to be a good season. All right, so at the Dolphins. This is another toss-up game. Dolphins are getting much better. They were just trash. So one flashy offseason with good free agent ads and, a solid to not so great draft is not going to be enough to make that team dominant. It's not. So, yeah, you're going on the road, but, you still have a real chance at winning, even though you're not necessarily in the best shape roster-wise. So, Jaguars, that's a toss-up game. Gardner Minshew, a few years in to this offense, knowing some of the same players that he's throwing to, I think that they have enough going for them on that roster that you can't say it's a guaranteed win. It's just barely a toss-up. You really have a chance to put a solid W on the board here. Raiders. Oh, you're losing that one. The Raiders are pretty solid right now. Okay, they're a few years into their build. So the roster knows the offense, and they're just going to be humming by this point. They really are. I don't see you hanging with half the division just yet. So, you get the bye week in week 10. It's nice. Yeah, later in the season, the better, So, anything after the halfway point's good. Then, after the bye, you're going to the Broncos. I think that's a loss. It's a road game. At this point in the year, you're probably starting Justin Herbert. Okay? If you're going to make a move like that mid-season, it always happens after the bye week. And with the record we're predicting at this point, you're definitely not in real playoff contention. So that's the week where they decide, so long, Tyrod. Herbert's in. First start for a rookie in a hostile environment never goes well. That's a loss. Okay? At the Bills, week 12. That's a loss too. Yeah, they're a way better team than the Broncos. And if you can't handle the Broncos, you cannot handle the Bills. The Bills are in year 4 of their build. Their quarterback, who was a 3 to 4 year project, is now in year 3. And he got them to the playoffs last year. So you can't hang with them right now, especially on the road. All right, getting the Patriots, getting them at home, doesn't matter. I think that's a loss. Rookie quarterbacks do not do well against Belichick, period. He will put a defense together that's so damn confusing and so aggressive towards this young man that he is going to just trip all over himself. Is your defense better than their offense? Sure. Yeah. But it does not make up for the Belichick versus rookie quarterbacks factor. He's going to have a terrible game. All right. Falcons, you're getting them at home. This is a toss-up. This is when the rookie really starts to hit his stride, figure things out. Atlanta's garbage. So they have veterans, though. So I can't say that your rookie quarterback is going to be able to definitely thump up on them, but they're a bad team. So if there's a team that he's going to have a chance to get his first win against, this is it. At the Raiders, that's a loss. Road game. Black hole. New stadium in Vegas is going to be thumping all year. And the Raiders have veterans running things a few years into the same offense. You don't have that now with Justin Herbert starting. That's a loss. And you wrap things up at the Chiefs. Oh, I'm sorry. No. You get the Broncos at home. That's a toss-up. By now, Herbert's got some of the swing of things, and Drew Lock's still a maybe. He's not a lock to really be the guy. So you have a real chance in that game. The Broncos, though, at this point now, when you look at them top to bottom, are on par roster-wise with the Chargers. And Drew Lock's probably a better quarterback situation than Herbert is, but you're getting them at home. So yeah, that's a toss-up game. You wrap things up at the Chiefs, you're definitely getting lumped up on by Kansas City. Because of the threat of Baltimore, the Chiefs are still going to have to start players, and they're still going to have to win, and they're not going to let a team like the Chargers get in their way. So this is going to be a rough year, okay? Out of the games that I say are an absolute lock, one way or the other, you're 2-9. You split the remaining games. I'm calling the likely record for this team 5-11. Yeah, rough one. But it's helpful because now your rookie quarterback's going to have a top draft pick next year coming in to help him out in his second year. And that's going to be very beneficial. A huge step in the right direction to building this team the right way. Assuming, of course, that this 5-11 record is enough for the ownership to say, hey, yeah, we're going to keep the coach and the GM. It's going to be a hard pill to swallow. But they may have built up enough good faith in the waning years of Rivers for the ownership to give them an honest crack at doing a real 3-year build. So that's what I think for the Chargers. Looking pretty bleak, but, you know, everybody has bad seasons now and again. Hit me up on Patreon. So come the regular season, most of my content is fantasy football related. If you need help setting your draft order, setting your lineup, I'm your guy. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. I'm making one of these videos for every single team. There's already a few divisions worth up. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.